Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June, early July 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Aries collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time, see what we got going for Aries, please. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock. What's happening for my Aries people, please? My gods, there we go, real quick. So we have a lot happening here on the mind, and this could be a very, very good card. Or, I mean, it could be a little overwhelming depending on the situation, but I tend to like this card. I think it's really unique and has a fun little edge to it. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading, let's talk about it. So we see this lovely lady. She has that beehive hairdo going. Notice she has all those different creative implements in her hair. So first and foremost, we could think about someone being very creative. Those juices could be flowing. Spirit might be asking you to express yourself in various different ways. Now, there's a limitless number of ways that you can express yourself or release that mental energy, which could be very important here. Aside from the creativity aspect, when I see this card, I do think of someone that may have a lot going on, like in the mind or on their mind. So there might be a lot of energies affecting you, or your mind might be go, go, go. Either way, I think expressing or putting that energy out, some sort of release of energy could be needed when this energy shows up. Generally a very positive card. I do like the energy of it, but it could be a little hectic, right? There might just be a lot on your mind, or your mind could be going, but let's put that over there. I always say it's just a footnote. We're going to get into tarot now. We'll get you 3 cards in the upright before we do the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up here one time for my Aries collective, please, my guides and spirit team. What do we got here as we move through the end of June? So let's talk about last week's reading. Very positive. It was energy that I generally like to see in an Aries reading. It was titled A Sudden Breakthrough. So specifically, if you've been being patient, or you might be dealing with delays or whatever it might be, there could have been like breakthroughs in different circumstances where things start to take off, lift off, you know, like really start to pick up momentum. And that's what we like to see. As I always say every week, energies, you know, they could bleed over from week to week. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Aries have things like picking up tons of steam going forward. But let's see what's in the spread here. I always also say that energy is super fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, right? Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get 3 cards. Let's get 3 out here for Aries, please. Yeah, the deck wants to talk to you. I could already tell it's jumping. What do we got for my Aries? There we go. Thank you. Okay, so we do have an energy, fiery once again. It's showing up. We have the 5 of Wands, which could be very good, very determined. But sometimes it could be a little conflict-based. We'll see. We're not going to judge it just yet. Let's get 2 more. What do we got here for Aries? Thank you. Yeah, picking up tons of steam. So much fire, Aries. And this is an element you are super comfortable with. And I know I say it every week as well that I am part of the Aries collective. My Sun, my Venus, my Mercury, it's all in Aries. So I'm with you here. Tons of fire happening for us, which can be good. Okay. So this is kind of like the reverse of the energy I was seeing last week. We have the Hermit on the back end. You also have a little bonus that I'll throw out here. Aside from this Hermit, we also have the Star, which is a card of the future. So we have an interesting bit of energy here to really contend with Aries. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get that juicy intuitive stuff going. Now, if we look down here at first look, first glance, I know I was already commenting on it. Lots of fire up here, which is, once again, a comfortable energy for Aries. It's forward movement, it's forward momentum, it's burning red hot. So this could be things progressing, but it could also be things spinning a little out of hand or out of control. We also have this Hermit, which is withdrawn. So I would say in this time, please be careful not to force things, or if anyone's trying to force you, it's a complete bounce back. So just watch out for that. We'll talk about it more as we go through the spread. We also have a big card of the future on the back end. But position number 1, the 5 of Wands. 5 is generally change. Now, when we see this card, you see the people, you see the imagery, they're beating each other up with sticks, right? They're really duking it out. They're really going at it. So, of course, this could represent conflict, hurdles, challenges, tests, sometimes from Spirit. Spirit could be testing you in various different ways. The 5 of Wands, although it can be conflict, butting heads with people, not seeing eye to eye or some sort of fight, very fiery once again, but it's also a card of determination, not letting anything hold you back, continuing to push forward, onward and upward type of energy, which can be good. Sometimes I do say this could be a playful energy too, like roughhousing and, you know, wrestling around. This is a good type of energy sometimes, depending on what the clarifier is, which we'll have to see. But moving to the center, we have the 8 of Wands, one of my favorite types of cards. This could be some sort of conversation that you're having, right? The 8 of Wands, you see it. It's the 8 arrows just completely cutting through the sky super fast. It's one of the fastest in the whole entire deck. Once again, more fiery energy, forward momentum, the explosiveness, so to speak. But it is a card of back and forths, right? Talking, whether it's through message, through verbal. So we could be looking at some sort of important conversation. We'll get more detail when we clarify it. If not, it is forward progress, forward momentum. And we kind of see it here, like fighting to get something started, like revving it up, and then boom, this is like blast off, which is an energy we saw last week. Remember, it was the energy of a breakthrough. But as we get to the back end, this is where we might want to have a little bit of caution, my friends, because we have the Hermit right here. This is an energy of withdrawing from something, pulling back from something. So if you're feeling pressured in any sort of way, or like clamped down, or you might be feeling like stepping back or stepping away, this is kind of the reverse energy of this 8 of Wands, where this one is about communicating and talking. This one is more solitude. When this card shows up, you might be feeling a sense of isolation, loneliness, whether that's something you want or don't want. The Hermit can have really good energies as well. It's a card, if not a Virgo in your life, the Hermit is very wise, introspective. It's all about esoteric knowledge, super spiritual. So I love this Hermit card in most senses. But the way the energy is flowing, like you're really going to not want to force things in this time, force an issue, force an opinion, anything like that. Move into your bonus, and we really need to get down to the nitty gritty. We have the Star card. Beautiful. So this could be a connection to an Aquarius showing up here. The Star to me is hope. Hope in the future, hope in a brighter day. It's also a card of wish fulfillment, but it's like something off in the distance, right? This is the light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe some of you have a big future focus as well in this time. But I really want to dive deeper. It seems like we have a lot of energies contending with each other. So let's do that. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Aries. Reset this deck. What do we got for my friends, my guides? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 5 of Wands here. So why is that 5 of Wands here? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, 5 of Wands time. Thank you. Trying to settle something down or settle something in general. This could also represent karmic type of energies. We have the 7 of Pentacles. There might be something you're tired of waiting on, or there could be something. I'm getting this forceful energy as well, Aries. Like you may have been investing a lot of your energy into someone or something, and it might be time to settle it down and take a little bit of a rest. That's a big vibe I'm picking up here with the 7 of Pentacles in the upright underneath this 5 of Wands. It might take time for something to settle down a little bit, whether it's you and how you're feeling or somebody else. But this is a card of reaping what you sow. Aside from that, like investing your time, investing your energy in something or someone. This is a card of like getting forward what you put back. So this could represent a karmic test as well. So we're getting several different messages up here up front. If you're going through like trials, tribulations, hurdles, especially more than usual in this time, could be big karmic tests from Spirit. But aside from that, like this does feel like you might need to let something mellow out, calm down, take a step back. And we're seeing it in several different places here. Okay, like please don't force anything. Don't like overexert yourself. Don't force any issues if you don't need to, especially next to a card like this of like the 8 of Wands, right? Maybe you really want to get your point across to someone, make your opinion known. That could be big here, but we're going to keep pressing forward. I'm not going to spend too much time here. We'll talk about it more during the recap. I know I already gave you my opinions. Could be other things, could be a karmic test, right? So let's see what's up with that 8 of Wands. Where's that 8 of Wands here for Aries? Thank you. And yeah, here's this bulldozer type of energy, my friends. All right, like seeing your opening and go for it. Or there might be someone around you, like they see their opening and they're like, okay, I'm going to go for it now. Like, here we go, let's go. It's go time. Like, we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. So you might be waiting on the perfect time to talk about something. This could absolutely be some sort of important conversation that you're just waiting to open up with somebody, or that somebody wants to have with you. The 9 of Wands, when it's in the upright, reminds me a lot of the Hermit. When it's in reverse, it's those gates opening and things lifting. So to me, it does feel like that. Either it is an important talk that is coming or needs to be had, or this is somebody just waiting on the right time, waiting, picking their time, picking their moment. Let's go, let's do this, and just making that push. But I'm seeing it all over this reading, in the front end, in the middle. Like, forcing an issue too much is really, really not the best route in this time, okay? Because it might cause somebody to recoil or some like regression that you don't see coming. So I would say just slow and steady if possible. We're going to move forward to the Hermit. I know we're seeing a lot of the same things, but it's for a reason, trust me. So let's go in on that Hermit. Forcing anything is not the best right now. So let's go into the Hermit, then we'll do a quick little recap before we get the Shadow card. So why is this Hermit here? Yeah, you might need a break of some sort. Yeah, you might just need time to reanalyze or collect yourself, re-strategize. And it's more fire here. We have the 3 of Wands. This is a big card of like manifesting, creating. It does have little undertones of planning as well. So we did see this in part of the reading already, like somebody strategizing, planning, looking towards the future. The 3 of Wands is somebody in a waiting pattern, in a holding pattern. Some of you might not want to hear that. But with the way all this energy is, like, it seems like a fight, it seems like a test, it seems like being forced. Back here on the back end, this is someone being extremely patient, pulling back, saying, you know what, let me reassess what I want to bring into my life. The 3 of Wands is a big card of manifesting. It's a big card of creating, okay? So under a card like the Hermit, there is somebody that if you force too much or you put too much energy, it might make them retract. For some reason, that's a big vibe, right? Whether it's you or somebody else, there's a lot of fire here. So there's a big push. There's a lot of energy being poured in, okay? But I would say just let things flow in this time, for sure, with the way this is all playing out. Because this could be somebody taking a step back, right? This could be somebody recoiling if it's pushed too far. So, I mean, we do have communications and talks and tests. Like, there's a lot of juicy energy here with all the fire. Let's go through. I'll give you a quick overview and recap. Then we'll get into the Shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, let's talk about it real quick. Position number 1, we have the 5 of Wands with the 7 of Pentacles. There may have been something or someone you've put a lot of your energy and your focus into. Another vibe I'm picking up here is like you might just need to take your foot off the gas and relax in some sort of way, like calm something down, let it mellow out, whether you or a situation. Another vibe here is like if you're going through more difficulties than usual, it could be some sort of karmic test for sure. In the center, we have the 8 of Wands with the 9 of Wands in reverse. To me, this could be some sort of important talk that needs to be had, whether you want to speak your piece or somebody else. Like, no, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to get this off my chest. But another vibe I was picking up here is like somebody waiting for the perfect moment to pounce or make a move, like let's go. Just waiting for that opening to jump in or make a move. On the back end, we have the Hermit and the 3 of Wands, and the consistent theme throughout this whole reading is like, yes, there's a lot of want for action, want for movement and forward momentum, but if something is pushed too far, it could cause a recoiling or a pulling back. So mellowing out the energy is important. Planning, taking a step back, going within is also very important right here on the back end, whether it's you recoiling or somebody else. All about manifesting and spirit on the back end as well. So your creative powers could be elevated. Let's get into the Shadow card. Please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into them further. Interesting spread, Aries. But let's get a Shadow card popping for you. What's in the shadows for Aries, please? guides and spirit team. And I always like to just pull this shadow card at the very end. I think it's nice, whether it's something within yourself, something you don't quite see. So let's get this shadow card out here. It's introspective. What's in the shadows for Aries, please? I'm using the Shadowland Tarot as always. The imagery is a little creepy. Okay, we do have the Sun here, which is the most positive card in the deck. So I always find it interesting when we're shining sun in the shadows, right? That does speak about doing shadow work and casting light on something purposefully. The sun in the shadows could represent some sort of connection to a Leo, right? Like if you have a connection with one. If not, Spirit could be highlighting Leo season for whatever reason. But the sun to me is a card of revealing and revelation. Okay, if you're on the search for some sort of answer or some sort of information, it could really be known within you already. That's a big vibe I'm picking up here. Like your intuition and your inner knowledge and connection to source. You might already know the answers you're looking for when this shows up. You just need to go within. But the sun is all about putting light on those shadows, right? So some of you, like, whether they're past hang-ups, whether it's something you're healing from now, this is loving source energy, and it's about connecting with it or reconnecting with it and shining light on those not so easy to look at topics. So yeah, that's what I have for you this week, Aries. Don't click away just yet though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.